Ladies and gentlemen, gather around because Caribbean diplomacy just turned into a soap opera with too many plot twists to keep track of. At the CARICOM Heads of Government Summit, we were treated not to a discussion of economic cooperation or climate resilience. No, we got a public argument between two prime ministers that sounded like the Caribbean version of "you wrong, no you wrong, prove it." All of this is over one man's trip. Abduction, excuse me. Let's recap the tea. In 2022, Trinidadian businessman Brent Thomas was detained in Barbados and taken back to Trinidad and Tobago without a formal extradition. Later, a high court described the act as unlawful abduction and the state admitted liability. Now fast forward to the CARICOM stage. One prime minister gets up with all the confidence of someone about to start a neighborhood argument and says this was a kidnapping, handcuffed, aircraft, unlawful, and boom, high drama. Welcome to Caribbean litigation, served with a side of political theatrics. But then, like any good sitcom twist, Motley in full stateswoman mode stood up and said, kidnapping, defamatory, scurrilous, a lie in the extreme. Pause right there now. Let that sink in. One leader says kidnapped, the other says no abduction. Don't even drag my country's name like that. So here now, we now have a situation where former High Court ruling says unlawful abduction was admitted. One regional leader calls it a kidnapping. Another leader calls that defamatory. Which one is true? Honestly, at this point, the truth has more plot holes than a beach in the dry season. It's like the judge says it's unlawful, government admits breach, one prime minister says it's a kidnapping, another prime minister says it's defamatory. Summit delegates are somewhere in the corner sipping juice wondering which dictionary they're using. It's almost poetic. This isn't just a legal splat. This is Caribbean diplomacy meets courtroom drama meets family reunion argument. One leader points fingers, another denies the allegations with all the gusto of someone defending their favorite cricket team after a loss. And the public? Well, we're just sitting here like, wait, so was it a kidnapping or was it just an emotionally handled detention? Is this still CARICOM or Caribbean law and disorder? Because let's be honest, if regional unity is measured by how well leaders can argue publicly without settling the mess, then we are world champions. By the end of this, people might start thinking maybe Brent Thomas was just driving through. Maybe the plane was just on vacation. Maybe the lawyers lost the file. Maybe the prime ministers are secretly consulting sitcom writers for their speeches. Either way, this isn't a Caribbean diplomatic spot. It's the Caribbean favorite new argument topic. So always stay tuned because next week they might just settle it in the legal island, the reunion tour.